Hi, it's Kristen. I woke up this morning with some lower back pain. I've struggled with lower back pain for most of my life, so I wanted to do a brief, gentle lower back yoga and meditation sequence to help anyone who suffers from back issues. It's a really slow moving, gentle practice, and mostly everything I do can be modified. So enjoy your practice. We will begin lying on our back with our knees bent, the soles of our feet on the ground. Our feet are wider than hip distance, and your knees will fall in towards each other, providing a release in the lower back and in the legs. Just let your arms be down by your sides. Your face is soft. Start to deepen your breath. Breathe into your back, all the areas that are ailing to you. Sometimes just laying flat on your back can actually be a release in the lower back, which it is for me right here. Bring your arms out to a T and begin to windshield wiper your knees back and forth slowly. Let your knees drop to the left. Get a stretch in the right side of the body and in the right thigh. To the right. Get a stretch in the left side of the body. Be gentle, going back and forth. There's no need to rush. Maybe move with your breath. As your knees drop to the right, you exhale. Back to center, inhale. To the left, exhale. Knees back to center. Bring your feet back into the middle. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a bear hug. Roll back and forth, side to side. Massage your lower back and your kidneys. Tell your lower back to release. Grab onto your knees with your palms and circle your knees to the right, round in circles. And then circle your knees the opposite direction. Knees being guided by your hands. And then let your knees drop to the left, arms come to a T. Gaze over the right shoulder. A gentle supine twist to the left. Breathe into the side body and in the lower back. If this is too intense, you can put something under your knees like a block or a bolster or a towel. Inhale, knees back up to center gently. Rock and roll. And then knees fall over to the right. Arms out to a T, gaze to the left. Gentle stretch through the lower back, side body. Breathe into those spots that need oxygen in order to heal or stretch. Inhale, knees come back up to center gently. If you have a strap, you can use that, or you can use a towel or a t-shirt. Put the strap on the ball of your left foot. Straighten your left leg as best you can with a micro bend in the left knee. Straighten your right leg out on the mat. And gently pull in your leg with the strap. Get a stretch in the inner left hip, the hamstring, maybe the calf. Hold on to the strap with your right hand or maybe both hands and gently guide it a little bit over to the right to get a stretch in the left IT band and left hip. And then grab onto the strap with your left hand or both hands and guide your leg gently over to the left to engage a deeper stretch in the inner thigh of the left leg. Back issues a lot of times stems from issues of the hips or hamstrings or legs or knees. So it's crucial that we pay attention to those as well. Release the left foot to the ground and wrap the strap around the ball of the right foot. Straighten out your left leg to the mat. Bring in your right leg using the strength of your arms and the strap. Your right knee is bent. Engage a stretch in the right hamstring, hip, inner thigh maybe hip flexor. You can bend the knee even more to explore what's there. And straighten it back out. Grab the strap with your left hand and gently guide the foot over to the left to deepen the stretch in the right hip and the right IT band. Back to center and then over to the right. Grab onto the strap with your right hand. Let your right leg splay open, deep stretch in the inner thigh of the right leg, hamstring.
I miss your smile through the limbs. I miss your warm kisses on the day October sky. I miss you driving me around, listening to some sweet music.
Then come back to center. Release the strap. Place the right foot on the ground. Bring your knees into another bear hug. Release the lower back. Rock back and forth. Massage the kidneys and the lower back muscles. Grab on to the outer edges of your feet with your palms. And let your knees splay out, your feet splay out to happy baby. You can rock back and forth to explore massaging the side muscles, the side of the body, the lower back. Get a stretch in the hip flexors and hips.
And the candles by your window.
Bring your feet back in. And if your body allows you today, grab onto your knees and begin to roll back up to a seated position. My lower back was not allowing me to do this, so if that's the case, you can roll over to your right side in fetal position and then push up through your hands to a seated position. Come onto your hands and knees, tabletop position, and then gently let your hips fall back on your heels to child's pose. Knees together to round deeper through the back and the lower back. Come onto your fingertips to allow a gentle stretch in the shoulders. Sway back and forth, side to side. Bring your hands behind you to clasp onto your feet and maybe deepen the stretch in the upper back and shoulder blades.
Miss your loving
Place your
soul
hands
and
on the
your
mat
glow
underneath
in
your
the
shoulders.
dark.
Push up in between your hands. Widen your knees out slightly.
Even though
Big
you're
toes come to
forever
touch
mine,
and sink down into a modified child's pose where your torso sinks in
miss
between
your
your
loving
legs.
soul,
Come onto your fingertips. Begin to alternate rolling your shoulders back and forth, feeling your scapula move against your shoulder blades. Place your palms on the mat. Push yourself up into a tabletop position. If you have any knee issues, make sure to place something underneath your knees to protect your joints. We'll move through cat-cow. Exhale, push through your palms, round your spine, chin to chest, cat pose. Inhale, belly drops to the floor, sit bones to the sky, gaze forward, cow pose. Exhale, push through your palms, round through your upper back and your tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops to the floor, sit bones upward. Be gentle with your spine here. Move at a pace that feels okay to you. Give a lot of attention to your pelvis and the way that it tilts back and forth during cat and cow and allows you to move through the lower back. If there's any pain there, you can move through cat and cow only through the upper back and not so much through the lower back and tilting the pelvis. When you're ready, we'll push ourselves up and back into downward facing dog. Bend the knees pretty deeply and release the lower back and the torso to the upper thighs. Pedal out your feet, get a stretch in the calves and the hamstrings. Tight calves and hamstrings can also lead to lower back issues, so it's really critical that we pay attention to those today. Gently walk your hands back to meet your feet to come to a standing forward fold. Feet hip-width distance apart. Hands grab onto opposite elbows, hang over your legs into ragdoll pose. Just let your head and your upper body be soft and hang gently over your legs. Place your hands on a mat or your shin and gently bring your right foot behind your left with the outer edges of your feet touching to engage a deeper stretch in the right hip, the right IT band. You can stay here or inhale, right hand to the sky, gentle twist to the right. Inhale, look down at your left palm, release the right palm to the mat, and switch sides. Release the right foot and bring the left foot behind the right. Outer edges of the feet come to touch. You can stay here and engage a deep stretch in the left IT band and hip, or you can inhale, left hand overhead, gaze to the left fingertips. Inhale, gaze towards the right fingertips, left palm comes back down. Release the left foot, standing forward fold. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Fold over your knees, release your neck, shake your head yes and no. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine and the side body and the neck. Gaze towards the ground. Be mindful not to crunch through the neck. Exhale, standing forward fold. Gently walk your hands up your legs as You go through a few cycles of breath and roll yourself up to standing. Your head is the last thing to come up to standing. Inhale, your hands overhead, palms come to touch. If your back allows you to, maybe find a slight back bend. Exhale, swan dive with a flat back, forward fold. Very slowly, gentle, not to rush anything. Let your head fall in between your arms. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine and the neck. Exhale, walk the hands forward and the feet back. Place the knees on the ground and gently place your belly on the ground. Inhale, your chest off the mat, low cobra. Use your back muscles to lift your head and chest off the mat. Try not to push too much through your palms. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Inhale, low cobra. Use the back muscles to lift your chest off the mat. Gaze slightly forward. Try not to crunch through the neck. Root your pelvis down into the ground. Inhale, maybe a little bit higher. Exhale, release forehead to the mat. Hands beneath the shoulders. Inhale. Peel the chest off the mat, gaze slightly forward, engage your back muscles and your core. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Push through your hands, push yourself up and back into a child's pose, gently and slowly. Knees together, round to the spine, hands out in front. Forehead on the mat or on a block. Release the lower back. Come back up through tabletop and we will meet in downward facing dog. Hands shoulder width apart, root down through the pointer finger and thumb. Inhale, exhale, sweep your right foot forward, pigeon pose on the right side. Take a look back at your left leg to make sure that it's straight up behind you. You can keep your toes curled under or your left foot flat on the mat. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, walk your hands out with a flat back. You can stay there or you can come down to your forearms. Rest here, breathe light into your right hip and glute. Try to release your face and your upper body. Try to relax as much as you possibly can here. Inhale, walk your hands up. Push through your palms, send your right foot back, downward facing dog. Get a gentle counter stretch in the right hip. Pedal your feet out. Take an inhale and then exhale, left shin to the mat, pigeon pose on the left side. Try to square your hips to the front of the mat. Take a look back at your right leg to make sure that it's straight out behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk your hands out a little bit to deepen the stretch in the left glute. If you'd like, you can come down to your forearms. Relax your upper body and your face, and just let your body drape over your leg. Breathe light into your left hip. Feel your lungs bringing oxygen into that tight area. Inhale, walk your hands back up, curl your right toes under, push through your palms, send the right foot back, downward facing dog to get a counter stretch in the left hip. Let your head drop in between your arms. Come down to your knees. Let your glutes rest on your heels. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, place the right palm on the ground and left hand comes up and overhead to get a gentle stretch in the left side of the body. Slowly bring your left hand down as you engage a stretch to the left side of the body and place your hand on the ground next to your right. And then gently walk your hands to the front and then over to the left as you inhale your right hand up. Gentle stretch in the right side of the body. And then slowly go to place your right palm to meet the left. And then your palms walk up to center and you sink back down into a child's pose. You can widen your knees to let your torso sink in between your knees. Arms overhead. Glutes drop towards your heels. Breathe into this. Release. Inhale, gently walk your hands back up to a seated position. Root your sit bones into the ground. Bring your right ankle to rest on your left knee or thigh. Your shins should typically be parallel with one another, but it's okay if they're not. Make sure that both sit bones are rooted into the ground and you're engaging in a gentle stretch in both hips. Lengthen the spine and the crown of the head. Inhale and then exhale. Place your palms in front of your shins and engage a deeper stretch in the hips. Inhale, come back up. Switch sides. Bring your left ankle over your right knee or thigh to engage a deep stretch in the left hip. You can place your palms on your knees. You can dig your thumbs into the creases of your hips to ensure that your sit bones are both rooted into the earth. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe place your palms on the floor in front of your shins to engage a little bit deeper stretch in the hips. Breathe into this. Inhale, walk your hands back up to an elongated spine. And then release your legs. Gently come down onto your back. Bend your knees, rest the soles of your feet on the ground, bring your heels into your glutes slightly. Your feet and your knees are hip-width distance apart. We will do a gentle bridge. On your next inhale, push through your feet and your shoulders. Raise your pelvis to the sky. Shine out through the chest. Be very gentle with the spine here. Move extremely slowly. You can push through your hands and your forearms and your shoulders. Make sure your knees are not splaying out to the sides. On your next exhale, release, setting each vertebrae on the mat one at a time. Engage your core to protect your spine and your lower back. You will do this 2 more times. So on your next inhale, push through your feet and your shoulders and raise your pelvis to the sky. Engage your core, shine your chest open. Exhale, release each vertebrae to the mat one at a time. Your tailbone's the last thing to reach the floor. On your next inhale, lift 1 more time, very slowly. Push through your feet, your hands, engage your core. Try not to flex your glutes. Raise your pelvis to the sky a little bit further, and then exhale, release each vertebrae to the mat one at a time, very slowly.
Seems like rain's gonna fall.
Bring your knees into your chest. Get a gentle release in the lower back. Sway from side to side.
I'm in a peaceful state of mind. Sometimes you need to think.
Take your palms, grab onto the outer edges of your feet. Happy baby pose. Let your knees splay out to the sides. Engage your arms to pull your legs a little bit closer. Maybe rock from side to side. Feel a nice release in the lower back and also a stretch in the hip flexors and the inner thighs. Eventually bring your soles of the feet together as they rest on the ground, knees splay out to the sides. Reclined bound angle pose. Your right palm comes to your belly and your left palm comes to your heart. We will practice a 3-part breath. So at the end of your next exhale, inhale, breathe into your belly first, and then expand the chest as you breathe into your chest second. On your exhale, let all of the air out of your chest first, and then your belly. Engage with this breath 3 more times before we will meet in our final resting position, Shavasana. When you're ready, release your legs out straight and your arms straight to your sides with your palms facing upward. Release all the muscles and also release the breath. Scoop your tailbone under slightly. Roll your shoulder blades underneath a tad. Release the muscles in your jaw and your forehead, and all the little muscles around your scalp. Notice as thoughts float by like a cloud overhead, without any attachment.
Listen to the voice of your heart. The voice of your heart.
Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Take a few deep inhales. Come back into your body. Reach your arms and hands overhead. Get a whole body stretch. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll to the right side, fetal position. Take your time. You can push through your hands up to a seated position to seal our practice today. Elongate through the spine and the crown of the head. Bring your hands to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.